It's the Male Rights Activist Podcast, episode 107, where we focus on relationships, sports, and pop culture from a man's point of view. First of all, we want to thank our listeners, our new ones, our OGs. Thank you for hanging with the fellas.
What up?
On today's show, a sheriff gets his side piece arrested.
Was the head that bad?
A married couple's explosive argument leads to a baby on the side.
Where is that sheriff? We need him.
Cat Williams releases new material, and we got to weigh in on the NFL and NBA visitors policies. All that and more right now. This MRA podcast with Kyle and Kamala, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. I am Kyle.
I am Kamala.
And we are saving relationships one listener at a time. Let's start this off with the front page of our live. Kamala Harris is the pick. First of all, Kamala, your name will now always be just like the future presidents, Kamala and Kamala, man. How do you feel about having a name so similar to hers?
Well, I kind of rocked it first.
You did rock it first, but now everybody's going to think of her when they see your name.
Yeah, no, I got to do something about that. So
that means you got to do something big, dude.
I got to be uber famous. So when they say, "Oh, Kamala Harris president," oh, is that like the writer, the guy?
That's the guy.
That's the
you
guy.
just heard. She's like the writer guy.
The guy.
That's the MRA dude. That's the happily married.
He loves the host and everything. Yes.
Oh, that's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy that's so nice to the host. Kamau, man, when it first happened, when he got the pick, I was excited. See, I was going for Bass. I like Bass. I don't know why. I read some articles about it. I was like, I like Bass. She seemed like a cool laid back. But then again, that's Kyle. I like Janet more than Chrissy. I usually like the laid back underdog. And he needed probably somebody with a whole lot of might. And Kamala Harris, she's so hella qualified, man, with being the attorney general. Shouts out to Howard University, you and your wife, my sister, my cousin, Lady Life, all these people went to Howard. Yo, how you feel, dog?
I'm cool with it. I think every single
you don't sound too cool with it. That whole delay in thought sounded like,
because they all had warts. Nobody was perfect.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody was perfect. It was no perfect pick for Joe. I think with Kamala Harris, she's going to turn off a lot of urban black men.
Why? Because white dude?
She's married to a white man and she was a prosecutor. So a lot of those urban inner city dudes, a lot of them, they wasn't fooling with her during the primary. Yeah. And so you got the guy that did the crime bill and his running mate is a prosecutor. Married to a white man. Yeah. That's gonna be a tough sell.
I mean, that's why she's not Obama. People say she's the female Obama, but it's like Obama had a black wife, and whether you say it makes a difference or not, it does for black voters. And the fact that Obama didn't have no skeletons in his closet, and Kamala got that Willie Brown skeleton. So she's not the female Obama, but she's damn the closest thing I've seen to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, listen, man. Anybody coming out of the Democratic primary had my vote.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it was a guy, what's his name, August or whatever his name is.
Alcina? Man. What if it was Kanye? What if it was just Kanye or Trump?
Man, I'm voting for Ye. If it was the most hated man in my universe, Coach Steve Johnson.
Coach Steve Johnson, Eisenhower.
This was the high school basketball coach. This was the guy that caused me so many years of therapy. It cut me when I was a senior in high school, ladies and gentlemen. Waited until I was a senior to finally cut me. This is the guy who, when I beat my kids, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
Steve Johnson.
Hypothetically, you don't really beat your kids. No.
But I'm good though, man. I'm good with the pick. I think she's competent. She's a pit bull on the debate stage. Definitely when she's in those hearings, man, she's the best one. I remember she had what's that guy's name? The other Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who actually said, "You're making me nervous." Now, anytime a sister can make a 70-year-old white man nervous,
yeah, buddy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm down with it. Plus, she got the HU background. Plus, You know what I'm saying? She's like born and raised in Oakland, so she's got that. Yeah, she's got that you know, the protester in her blood. That's where her parents met at a protest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm rolling with this ticket, man. I'm pretty happy. Karen Bass probably would have been better for me individually.
Yeah,
however, she wasn't nationally known, and Karen Bass would have quieted a lot of those inner city black guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this as we go. You know what? Those barbershop brothers, they voting for her anyway, so it really don't matter, man. And when we come back, man, we got some feedback. Someone not happy about the NBA guidelines for visitors. And later in the show, we have a post-nut story from a guy who tells us the story of the night he still regrets. What happened? Find out soon. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, what's up, guys? I sure hope you're enjoying the show. If you like it, I invite you to go to our website, themrapodcast.com, and catch up on over 100 episodes that we have in store for you.
You ain't working, you might as well check us out.
And if you want some more, go over to The World According to Cheryl and check me out on Cheryl Underwood's podcast. We post content there every single day. We have her normal radio show labeled SUR, and then the Cheryl Underwood podcast, where we get in her personal business every Friday. Then on the weekends, we have the specialty shows that range from Late Night Cupcake into Auntie Cheryl's House Party to our gospel show, Spiritual Nourishment.
You gotta check out The World According to Cheryl, even though I ain't on it.
We got some feedback, homie.
Do we now?
Yes, we do, man. This is from the big dog in L.A. He says Stephen A. Smith went off on the NBA today, stating how can one determine just because you met a woman, it can still be a meaningful relationship? And two, what's wrong with the guy inviting a woman who he met on social media? I totally agree with Steven. Allow them to have any kind of relationship they want. Restrict the number of women to one, but don't try to control who she is. Couldn't have been a brother who came up with those conditions. What do you guys think? He's talking about the new NBA guidelines for the bubble. Now, we talked about here on the NBA, on the MRA podcast, how the NBA is tripping by not having concubines for these men. They should have a brothel. They should be thinking about these men who are down there stuck together.
All-star
with a bunch
strippers,
of hard strippers, something. So now they must have heard us. They must have heard this episodes, because now they're allowing guests for those teams that make it to the second round of the playoffs. For Kamala's Pistons, they're still not going to be able to participate, but that's okay. Because I'm hoping my Lakers will still be in it, because they got the Trailblazers, and Trailblazers ain't no joke. All right, so here are the rules. No casual acquaintances, such as those known by the player only through social media or intermediary. Guests need to be family members, long-time close personal friends with whom a player has established pre-existing and a known personal relationship, and the earliest family members can get theirs August 31. Kamala Abdul-Jabbar, what if you don't want your wife coming there, dog? I got the greatest picture of your wife kissing you before the show, and the disgust on your face. What if you're pissed? Like, damn it, they're coming. Oh man, LeBron, why'd you say you missed your family? How you feel about this, dog?
Listen, man, I gotta side with the NBA on this one, man. I have to be a corporate man on this one.
Hold up, flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Gotta be a corporate man.
Got 5 yards on you, dog. Go ahead, man. Back to you. I'll cut you off. 5 yards. Go ahead.
Yeah, gotta be a corporate man on this one, man. And I'm gonna say this just because, and I'm looking out for the fellas, man. I'm looking out for the players on this one, dude.
Okay, so, how? Help me out.
Well, because here's the thing about
you lost
it, man.
me.
If everybody's sick, we ain't got no league. We don't.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we canceling the league, and you know what I'm saying, people mad because they're not getting paid and stuff like that. And so, Listen, man. This is the best way we know how to keep you safe, is to restrict people who come to see you. We got y'all. We pay y'all. And we got y'all. We don't know them. We don't pay them. We can't mandate what they can do. And so I need them to be as limited as possible, because guess what, homie? AD, LeBron, y'all catch some shit? TV ratings are awful. And nobody wins if they turn off the TV.
Come on.
What's up?
Let me be rude and cut you off, dog.
It's okay.
This is what they need. They need an incubator. All right? I don't care who comes in, as long as she sits in that incubator for 7 to 10 days. Now, if she's willing to sit in that incubator before she's introduced into the bubble, so be it. But you can't leave. You need to be quarantined. Max 3. We can't have 20 because then we that's too many people to keep an eye on. But you should be able to, as long as they get cleared with their health, come into the bubble. Max 3.
How long for the incubator?
7 to 10 days.
So they got to sit in this incubator waiting for you.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have a problem with that if they sat down and like chill for 2 weeks. But who the hell is gonna do that?
That's the point. If you want to come in that bad that you're willing to sit in that incubator and possibly only stay for a day, that would be ridiculous, dude.
Yeah,
that's gonna make you.
Yeah, who's gonna come in and wait for 2 weeks in some quarantine hotel under the NBA supervision? Because we can't trust you to quarantine yourself.
No, hell
exactly.
No.
Eating hotel food and all that stuff and stuff out of a box just to go see somebody for like a few hours.
Yeah,
because
Andrew
he's
Wiggins for a
practicing
few
and
hours.
playing. Yeah, man.
You should probably stay for more than a day if you go through all that bullshit.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the NBA on this one though, man.
Man, I get it, man. You're right, man. When we come back, man, we have a post-nut story from a guy who tells us about a night he still regrets. What happens? Find out soon. It's MRA Podcast. According to Webster's dictionary, being in post-nut mode is when you have a clear mind and you can make sound decisions as if you just busted a nut.
Yeah, I don't know if Webster actually said that.
No, he didn't. But our listener, Big Easy Q, told us all about it and we can relate. Women, men. So listen, if you have a story of when you did something foolish.
In pre-nut mode.
Yeah, something really dumb. Maybe it was top grime. Especially something in pre-nut mode you don't want nobody to know about. Hit us up. We'll tell the world. We can all laugh at your expense and hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes.
Aristotle once said, the results of pre-nut mode is the best teacher. I think he said some shit like that.
Send us your stories at dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That's dearirby@themrapodcast.com. And now it's time for a post-nut mode story, only on the MRA Podcast. All right, Kamala, says me and my wife was arguing a few years ago about a week before Thanksgiving. I had never been so mad. I could feel the heat on my neck and I was about to snap. I went to my office to cool down and locked it. She came and banged on the door wanting to continue the argument. I told her to stop and she wouldn't. Next thing I know, I hear the rattling at the door and she opened it with the emergency key. She gets to yelling again and I just got up and left the house, having no idea where I was going to go. I just knew I needed to calm down. I thought about sleeping in my car, but it was too cold, so I got a hotel room and a nice one too because I just wanted to feel good. Of course, I get in this nice-ass room, and before long, I needed some company. So I called this girl I've been trying to get with on the side for a while. She'd been playing hard to get, but for some reason, she was finally down. She comes to the room looking good as I don't know what. One thing leads to another, and we are in there naked going at it on top of the covers. I didn't expect sex that night, so I didn't have any condoms with me. Here we are naked, ready to go, and I'm still thinking what to do. She could tell I was distracted because she asked me what's wrong. I said I wanted her, but I didn't have a condom. She said, don't worry about it, because she was on the pill. Something told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. I guess you could say I wasn't in post-nut mode. We were getting ready to get to that moment. I pulled out to finish on her stomach, and that's when she whispered those sexy words in my ear, come in me. She didn't have to tell me twice. I jumped back in there and let it splash. It felt so good, but after I felt really bad. That guilt was nothing compared to what happened next. Maybe it was the guilt, but I distanced myself from her and never called her again. I got to work on putting my marriage back together. We had a great holiday season, probably one of the best I ever had, because I had no idea it was going to be our last one together. Ouch. Damn. Almost a year later, that woman contacted me and told me my son had been born. Oh, nigga. I didn't believe her, but a paternity test proved she was right.
You are the father.
She still says she was on the pill and can't see what went wrong. I told my wife and she left me on the spot with my 3 daughters. I love my son and always wanted a boy, but not like this. That woman who will remain nameless is my greatest regret to this day and probably always will be. That's Dwayne in Cleveland. Kamal, where'd he go wrong, dog? Break this down. Monday morning quarterback.
Let me count the ways.
Damn.
First of all, man, honestly, I have been here where this man is just so furious. He's trying to get away, and
amen to that.
It's almost like she's tethered to you. Every room you go, how the fuck are you still following me? Are you connected to me? So I've been there, and I have left the house. Never got a hotel room.
But you have left the house.
Yeah, I have left the house. So he gets the hotel room. Everything is fine up until this point.
Yes.
What he went wrong is he called company when he's pissed off. He's not in his right mind. It's like, nigga, this is the first night of the argument, and you calling company over it, dog. So this was all basically revenge from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you. And then the second thing, man, like, listen, dude, if you invite a chick over, I mean, really, you gotta plan for these things, man. That's when you go to the little gift store downstairs before she even get there, get you some condoms, man. Just in case.
Yeah, as soon as she says she's coming through, that's when you should have hit the 7-Eleven, the gift store. Yes,
right, you got 30, 40 minutes before she gets over there, man. You had time. I wasn't expecting it. You have to be prepared. You got to be like a Boy Scout on this one. Always prepared. And then, honestly, man, dipping in raw was a huge mistake. And then believing her on the pill and come in me, all that shit was a terrible blunder. Now, here's the thing, man. This is what sucks for you, Dwayne. She didn't hit you up until you already had the baby. Until she already had the baby. You know why? Because she probably didn't think you was the father. She was on the pill for a reason. Celibate chicks ain't on the pill. You know what I'm saying? And so you going raw on somebody already on the pill. This is beyond flag, homie. This is one of those like, nigga, what is you thinking? Wow. She's going raw. Like regular enough to be on the pill.
Wow.
You gotta think about these things, man. Obviously, you was in pre-nut, and so I get it, man. You in that pre-nut mode. It's like, oh, okay. But man, these are costly mistakes. Man, and you fucked around and lost the family.
That's the worst, bro. This one hurts my heart, Kamala, because you know I've been in a not this close of a similar situation, but I can relate in so many ways. The wanting to leave, I don't understand why women follow you through the house. I don't want to. So one thing I didn't like about this, Dwayne, I'm just going to call you out. You almost set it up like this was your wife's fault, and it wasn't. This wasn't, dog. You already, you've been in the streets. You didn't tell us what y'all was arguing about, but your wife knew what was up. And she probably wasn't down with it. It's one thing if she's down, but she wasn't down. So you've been in these streets, bro. And you didn't, and you should have let her know up front. Maybe you didn't know, but next time you'll let the woman know up front that you don't want to be faithful, which is fine. All right. So then here's where I really think you messed up. You got a nice room. It's hard to not smash when you have a nice room. You should have went to the weakest room you could find just for shelter. Because once you went to the nice room, that was subconsciously, especially with a nice bathroom, you got a woman has to see it if you got a nice bathroom. Come out. I'm sorry. If you got one of those really fancy sunk-in tubs, you're going to want somebody to see it. So that's your second mistake. And then you didn't go get the hats. That's your next mistake. You just was, dog, this is one of those chain reaction that just, it guts me in so many ways, man. And then this is the part I'm telling you where you really messed up. Your wife gave you 3 daughters. The fact that this other woman was able to get you a son, you think your wife didn't know you wanted a son? Ooh.
The main mistake he made, he told his wife. My wife would have found out at my funeral.
You are... Facts on facts on facts. That's why Kamala is a smart one. When we come back, we all know Monica was married to Shannon Brown, but did you know that she was with C. Murder back in the day? I did not know that. Kamala, did you know that?
Not at all.
She's been trying to help him get out. We're going to break that down and later in the show. A sheriff gets his side piece arrested. Why? You got to stay tuned to find out. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, if you're digging the show, then please tell somebody. People might say something to you like, hey man, you know, what podcast you listening to? And that's when you say the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamala.
Or the MRA Podcast with Kamala and Kyle.
Kamala, I didn't know this. You didn't know this. Monica and C. Murder used to be together. Pictures surfaced. One of them, they was both posting on social media. I don't know if they kind of flirting again now that Monica's single. But there's something that bothered me. And help me out, Kamala. Please tell me if I'm tripping. All right? Okay. Because Monica posted this thing, you know, she's talking about C. Murder, Master P's brother. He went to jail. And she posted, C. Murder and I are bonded with truth, honesty, and loyalty, ! There's never been a promise broken, and I vow to seek help. Is that a shot at Shannon Brown?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. That bothers the fuck out of me.
Yeah, definitely was a shot at Shannon Brown. And if I'm Shannon Brown, I'm not tripping off this shit at all. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, cool, get her mind off of me. Like, yeah, go chase that. Go try to get that nigga out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Yes, go fight that good fight. I'm not tripping off this one at all.
Funny.
I mean, Shannon Brown messed up a long time ago, man. And I like Monica as much as the next guy. You know what I'm saying? I do. I you know what I'm saying? One of those days I used to get
whenever you say I like Blake as much as the next guy, some bullshit is coming. So go ahead and give us the bullshit. Nigga,
well, here's the thing, Kyle. Researching this topic, I found out, man, Monica's past is riddled with guys, right? And,
you know, we had a writer that came. I think Rod the God told us that. He ripped her up one time he was like, I did my research and I found out. So go ahead.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I didn't know this. And if we spoke about it, I totally forgot. Yes. But apparently she was engaged before. Mm-hmm. And her fiance, his younger brother had been killed. And like maybe a car accident or something like that, but he died. And so Monica accompanied her fiance to the gravesite. And while Monica is there, the fiance pulls out a gun and commits suicide right in front of Monica. Monica witnesses the whole thing. And listen, man, I understand, like, I'm sympathetic and all that, but I'm not touching that woman. That woman has been through some trauma and probably has some severe PTSD. And she was with somebody else. She got engaged, I think, when they had a kid, and then she murdered, and then he went to jail. And then, like, Shannon Brown, I think, and with Shannon, she met him, like, in August. I think they were married, like, in October or something like that. It was very, very short courtship. And so, yeah, man, it's like the woman is just looking for love, man. And Shannon Brown probably fell for the okie doke. You know, it was a childhood crush. She's 5 years older than him. You know, it's just like, hey, man, that's Monica. That's Monica from when he was in elementary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was in middle school. He probably had a poster on the wall or something, watching those videos and stuff like that. It's, you know, that childhood crushes, baby. Like Nick Cannon and Mariah. Gotta stay away from those, man. You know, A-Rod and J-Lo. They're strong right now, but you know, like if Halle Berry if I ever become available and Halle Berry's throwing me rhythm, as much as I had a childhood crush on this woman since since Strictly Business, I couldn't do it, man.
Bro, if my man from Dwayne would have just squeezed one out in that hotel room, his life wouldn't have gotten ruined before he called that girl. Yeah. As soon as he got the inkling to call her, he should have squeezed one out, and he would not have wanted to call her. As soon as he got in the post nut mode, he would have took his ass home. Yeah. And if you ever get the chance to Halle Berry, you probably need to squeeze one out because you're not thinking. No. Because you're thinking about a childhood crush, and those childhood crushes, your brain ain't even developed at the time. So whatever you fell in love with at that time is a good chance it's no good for you. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience, you might do some stupid shit just because you're still hooked on some dumb shit that you got hooked on when you was a child.
Yeah, and she's 5 years older than Shannon, man. You know, C. Murder is damn near 50. He's 49 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, niggas damn near practically raising these people, and then she gets with a younger man. And I'm pretty sure, man, Shannon Brown probably had no say-so in some of these situations, man. You know, she probably thinks he's a child, and she knows better because she's been on the earth more years. And so all these things, man, you just need to be mindful of these things, man. I feel bad. I mean, I don't feel bad for Shannon Brown because I'm pretty sure he's probably laughing at this whole thing, not tripping at all. I'm hoping.
Yeah, but... Yeah, this is just an interesting angle, man. As well as far as the case, just quickly, man, I don't know if C. Murder really did it. I know Kim Kardashian is on the case. She's got some lawyers. She's known for trying to get these brothers and sisters out of jail. So, look, man, I don't know if he's going to get out. If he really didn't do it, I hope they find who really did do it. Like they arrested 2 guys that killed Jam Master Jay, allegedly. So if he really didn't do it, then, you know, let's just hope this is a cold case that someday gets signed, because it really sucks for this family who lost a loved one. And now all of a sudden people are celebrating that the person who they think killed their son is about to get out of jail. And if they still think he did it, I'm sure they feel horrible.
Let me tell you something, man. That man is getting out of jail.
He getting out.
He's a black man, and one thing the Kardashians are good for is getting black men off. Whoa!
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we come back. Cat Williams put out a 6-minute special, in quotes. How do we like it? We'll talk about it. And also later on the show, a Dear Irby writer, that was funny, dude, gets into it with his wife over how to raise their kid. Can we help him out? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys and gals, if you're enjoying the show, let someone know. Whatever app you're listening on, please subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a positive comment.
And why wouldn't you give us 5 stars and a positive comment? We're great.
Yes, we are. This helps our placement so that other people can enjoy the show as well.
And why wouldn't they? We're great.
Cat Williams posted a 6-minute set. Are you a fan of Cat Williams? I happen to think he's hilarious. Did you watch it?
I watched it, yeah. I am a new fan of Cat Williams.
Nice. What does that mean?
Well, the Pimp Chronicles and all that stuff, when he first, after the Money Mike shit, I thought he was very, very gimmicky, and he was very, very preachy. And so I just, he didn't do it for me. Just personality wise, I wasn't a big fan of his. But like his last 2 Netflix specials, I sat there and I watched them. I was like, oh man, this guy, I've seen him in movies.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I know he's improvising. Like, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so I gave his last 2 specials an honest viewing, because I was very, very impressed, especially the last one where he's like has like the Oval Office. I was like, oh, this man's a genius.
He's really
this
good.
man's a genius, and that 6 minutes I thought was genius as well.
He did it, man. I mean, I feel like, Dave Chappelle he opened the door to the big time comics putting out just a little bit of something to keep, everybody know he still got it. Cat Williams is one of the funniest guys in the game. I just watched Money Talks this weekend for the first time in a long time. If you haven't seen it, dude, you gotta watch, because you probably forgot how funny it is. Chris Tucker is one of the funniest dudes out there, and Cat Williams to me is Chris Tucker funny. He's just he's one of those top funny guys. I like the set, man. I was very happy with him. It's just good, man. I mean, of course, it could have been tighter, but he's just working some stuff out and kind of saying what he wanted to do. He did 6 minutes, sponsored by Supreme, the clothing line. I liked it, man. I think we both agree that it was a thumbs up.
Yeah, I think that my only critique would have been like if he did like Chappelle and just had like some type of distance audience or something like that.
Yeah,
instead of just being in the front room. I mean, just in an empty room. Because you could tell his he was looking for feedback. He's like just making like little sly comments about like they would have killed if he had some audience.
Oh man, yeah, man. That when he said about the damn crackhead, man, that shit, I laughed so damn hard. He said the president's telling you to do things no decent crackhead would tell you to do with a gunshot wound. It's just that kind of shit. It's stupid.
Decent crackhead.
Oh my God. And I love that voice. It's just that no decent crackhead would tell you to do with a gunshot wound. Man, Cat Williams on Atlanta. Dog.
Yo.
Creme de la creme, bro.
There's a movie that Dick Cannon directed. I think it's called School Dance. Mm-hmm. It's a shitty movie.
But
Cat Williams has like a 5 to 10 minute scene. Man, it was so funny. I let my girl check it out. I was like, hey, check this out. And she was just laughing at us off. He's just riffing for like 5 minutes. He's like plays like a dude in jail, and his family comes to see him. Man, it shows like this guy is a comedic genius.
He's a genius, man. Hey, we come back. Is there a difference between domestic violence and a fight? Such a touchy subject, no pun intended, but we are going to break it down. And later in the show, a Seahawks player is kicked off the team for sneaking a woman in the hotel. We got to get into that. It's the MRA Podcast. You listen to us, but Kamala and I want you to know that we listen to you too.
Even if we don't always respond to your tweets in a timely manner.
I love how you say we, man. So if you have some feedback, maybe you agree.
Maybe you disagree.
Or maybe you just want to tell us how much you love the show, or that you want to testify about how we specifically helped you out. Or maybe you just want to tell Kamal how he was right or wrong.
But mostly right.
Whatever you want to tell us, hit us on our social. I'm at Kyle Irby.
I'm at Angry Kamal.
Hit us up and you just might hear your comment on the air.
Promise, we'll be gentle.
All right, Kamal, I did not know who these people were until you kept sending me articles about them for the show. And now I'm absolutely invested. We've been talking about Vado and Tahiri. Now I'm even saying the names right. First, we talked about how she said he was the brokest guy she'd ever been with, which hurt. Then we spoke about the dust-up they had where she was throwing green apples at his head. Green apples are my favorite, by the way. And he subsequently yoked her up. Lots of celebrities, he didn't punch her, but he, pulled her up by the shirt. Lots of celebrities and people online have been commenting. Of course, Vado is taking the most of the heat because, as we know, men are never supposed to put their hands on a woman. But one woman who's actually been a victim of domestic violence is Tammy Roman. And she said what she witnessed between Vado and Tahiri was not domestic violence. She said, "Don't think that I'm condoning domestic violence, because I am not. I'm a survivor of DV. But I also feel like people need to take accountability in those situations." Ooh, accountability. I love that word. If you are a female that puts your hands on a man first, you cannot count on the fact that he has been raised not to hit your ass back. And if he does hit you back, God forbid, to me, I feel like that's a fight. You just fighting at that point. Now, Kamal, I'm sure a lot of people are mad at her, but I'm trying to find out, as the young folks say, where's the lie? She's not saying it should happen, and she's saying it shouldn't happen, but you shouldn't start it. Come on, what you say, dog?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Tammy, and I have disagreed with Tammy over the years.
Oh, okay. Who is she? I don't know.
Tammy used to be like on The Real World.
Okay.
And what was that guy's name? David. He was a stand-up comedian. He was in House Party 3. Played the Martin Lawrence character. House Party 3, Martin wasn't in there, but they had the third guy who was like the butt of the jokes.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. That guy, I think he got kicked off The Real World because she alleged that he did something. It might have been on the show. I never really watched the shit. So to me, just like, what I'm saying, getting Black Man off the show, I was a little salty. And I've seen her over the years in some of these Love is Hip Hop or whatever the fuck shows before, and she just always rubbed me the wrong way. She's like Doug Christie's wife and stuff. She's one of these people I just like, goddamn. But for this issue, I think she's 100% right. Especially if Vado wasn't in her face threatening her and stuff like that. He wasn't menacing. He was sitting down minding his own business. Now, maybe they was talking shit to each other, but he was seated in a comfortable position. I don't even think he was looking at her. He was basically just like, whatever. And she picked up these apples and hurled them at his face and walked out. And so later on, after he got his bearings together, he realized what she did, and maybe she was still talking shit. And I know when he choked her out or grabbed her, he was like throwing apples at me. He mentioned those apples. That was definitely still in his mind. And so I was I was in college. I'm going to tell a quick story. When I was in college, my homeboy used to drive us around, and people would just walk in front of the car, right, before he came to a stop. But he used to be like, dude, they act like I'm supposed to stop. And I'm like, yeah, you are. It's the light. He said, but they don't know that. They don't know if I'm crazy. They act like I'm just supposed to stop. And at the time, I thought, like, dude, it's a light. You're supposed to stop. But now, as I'm older, I realize what he was saying. The people walking in front of the crosswalk don't know if he's crazy. They don't know if he's drunk. They don't know if he's just on one, if he's snapped. They don't know if he's, like, having a stroke. They have no idea. And so with Tammy saying, you just can't assume this guy was raised right.
That's a good talk.
You cannot assume this man hasn't been beaten by women his whole life, and you are the straw that finally breaks the camel's back.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You just make all these assumptions. She's making the assumptions, I got these cameras here, I'm safe, these guys are breaking up. And when she wasn't, when her guard was down, he pounced. And so, yeah, man, you can't rely on this guy being raised right, or he ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, but enough of those, and he eventually will.
Oh, that's well said, bro. When we come back, man, the sheriff calls a cop on his mistress, saying she is stalking him with a gun. Now she is suing, saying he set her up. Who do we believe? Find out next. It's the MRA Podcast. Guys, I have a comedy album. It's called Be a Man at All Times, and it's on, what's it on? Oh, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you stream your content.
It's a damn good comedy album.
I appreciate that, man. There's stand-up on there. Kamala and I wrote a whodunit mystery called The Case of the Missing Balls. That's on there.
Based on a true story.
Check out the album. Show your boy some support. And you can buy it on iTunes. Keyword buy it. Stop streaming. All right, Kamala. By the way, yes, that guy was David from The Real World. His name was David. So, yes, this is a guy that played Stinky or something like that in House Party 3. All right. Man, you sent me this, dog, and woo, this was crazy, man. A woman claimed she was arrested for no reason. Now, she was having an affair with a married man who happened to be her boss, Clay County Sheriff Daryl Daniels. He allegedly got her arrested for stalking him with a gun, but she claims he told her to come over. She was pregnant at the time with another man's child when the arrest took place, and her 8-year-old child was in the car as well. Kamau. What in the hell, man? I don't know who to believe. I don't know who to believe because, like, she really did have a gun in her car. So, I mean, I don't know if he knew she'd have the gun. It's hard to say, man. Like, why was she at his house? Why would a dude say, come over to my house?
Here's the thing about it, man.
His wife is home. Go ahead.
Oh, the wife is a part of it. The wife was videotaping the whole thing. The wife is in on it. So I believe he told the wife about the affair. He had to come clean. And so he made a decision, my wife or the side chick, he rolled with the wife. It jumped.
Smart move.
And, he rolled with the wife, and he jumped all the way in. And, he definitely set her up. First of all, most cops, I think have the ability to lie very, very well. And he's a top cop in this area. And so getting this chick set up, getting her arrested, especially if he's been thinking about it, and he's got his wife, and he's got that female conniver next to him. He's got that. Hey,
the female conniver.
Hey, man, if you ever want to do some dirt, man, ask your sister or somebody, some female who's close to you.
Ask your lady, ask your sister. Also, if you ever want to not piss somebody off, don't piss off your lady, don't piss off your sister, don't piss off your mama, because their plot, they have the evilness comes out in their plotting, dude. Because guys, we're physical. We're just like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to beat you up. But women are like, I'm going to figure out a way to destroy you.
Yeah. Well, this one, I think, basically, if that was his side piece, and that was his side piece, but he wasn't her, dude. If you can understand, basically.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so she was like, well, I'm going to do my thing, and he's like, what? No, you're supposed to be available just for me.
Yep.
And I think the pregnancy, that was it for him. He was like, okay, we're done. And let me tell you something, baby. I have been unfaithful. I wish we do to this bitch.
I mean, that makes sense, man. It's hard for me not to take the dude's side. I am the male rights activist, but I mean, you know what, man? Now that you say it, that's information I didn't realize. It does make him look bad that his wife was videotaping the whole thing. I hate it when people try to play the victim, though. You know me, man. It always burns me up, gets my goat when they say, oh, that was her boss. She was only 21. She didn't know what she was getting into. Fuck out of here with that shit. Stop it. She was attracted to a man that had power. She got into it consensually. She was his side piece for a while. That means they cared about each other, probably deeply. Then it goes bad. She betrays him because she gets pregnant. She betrayed him. Yes, that's what I said. And he betrayed her when he had his wife set her up. Because just like there's a code, right? You don't talk shit about my wife. and you don't talk shit to about your side piece to your wife. You don't disrespect neither one of them. So he broke the code when he turned on the side piece with his wife. And she broke the code when she let another dude splash inside. I wonder if she said she was on the pill. Man, a double flag on the play for this, man. If we had to make a conviction, I guess I would have to, since his wife is involved, man, I have to say the sheriff. But I hope he doesn't lose the job over this bullshit, because fuck that, man. This was just low family business, man. So, you know, if he did some, I don't know, man. I mean, he did misuse his power to cause homeboys to get her arrested. But as long as he ain't trying to get her to convicted, you know what I'm saying? Like on, what was that movie called with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis? That motherfucker really misused his power, man. He got his wife in there interrogated.
True Lies.
I was like, God damn, they couldn't do this no more, man. They couldn't even make a movie like this. Man, his boys had her followed. They arrested her. They brought her to the room, scared the shit out of her.
Oh, yeah. They had a guy. He had a combat mission.
He was like, I'm going to find out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
But, you know, look, man, I mean, listen, well, you know, I think he went over the line, but I just hope he doesn't lose his job.
They're investigating,
and the fact
man.
that she lost her is whack.
He's getting investigated. Like the police department.
Yeah,
he's a sheriff, and he had the police. He had the local police department arrest her. So I don't know. Well, I'm not unsure.
Listen, if he called the police on her is one thing. But if he used his connects to get them to put her in jail, because it seems like he just called the police because they let her go. You know what I mean? They let her go. It's like, we don't have no evidence, man.
Yeah, but the police department's investigating the sheriff.
Well, if he's dirty, man, he needs to go to jail. I'm not going to be one of those guys. That's one thing I hate about Democrats and Republicans, how they won't ever cross the party when they can tell. When your party members foul, you got to call them out. And I represent the fellas, but if he was wrong, man, he need to lose his job and even go to jail if that's the case, man. I'm not going to be one of those dudes. It's like the dude's always right, because that's just as bad as the other side. When we come back, a Seahawks player is kicked off the team for sneaking a woman into the team hotel. And later in the show, a Dear Irby writer gets into it with his wife over how to raise their kid. Can we help him out? You're going to have to stay to find out. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, what's up? If you're enjoying this show, do us a favor and donate to our Patreon.
Word.
Just go to www.patreon.com. That's Patreon.com and make a donation to the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamala.
Word.
It's that simple. Listen to the show, love the show, share the show, break the show off with some dough.
Bars.
Kamala, this seems to be a theme with these football players and, you know, talking about the ladies in the quarantine. And listen, not in the quarantine, in the bubble. The NFL, their training camp was a bubble. Now, you know I'm a big, let me just tell you what happened. Seattle Seahawks player, he snuck a woman in. I think she got in like Seahawks gear as if she was one of the players, which we used to have to do at Southern University. Shouts out to Jones Hall. That's how we used to get the ladies in. They used to dress up like dudes, hoodies, you know what I'm saying, try to hide the boobies. And that's how we used to sneak people up to the room. Because back in the day, Southern, and they may still have this rule, it was certain dorms you couldn't have women in unless it was visitation. Maybe, you know, Southern and Christian, and you know how it is, really religious. But yeah, we couldn't have visitation. Y'all had, it was cool at Howard?
Yeah, we had Monday through Friday visitation. Weekdays, I think 11 was the end of it, and weekends might have been like 2 or some shit like that. But yeah, the boys dorm.
Oh, okay, but you couldn't go in the women's dorm.
I think theirs were like 8 or something like that. You had to get the hell out at 8 o'clock or something like that. It was hard to get the freshman girls' dorms, but the other dorms they had upperclassmen where other freshman girls stayed in. Oh man, it was cakewalk.
It was a cakewalk. Yeah, well, I remember my brother Chris Ball went to Cal, and when I went to visit him at Berkeley, I couldn't believe that everybody was like co-ed dorms. I had never seen that in my life. Mm-hmm. I was just like, they had girls in the room. I was, what's going on? Even with my son at San Diego State, man, when I was walking around the hallways and seeing the girls everywhere, I just was like, what in the hell? I remember when I was in college, man, we never had this, man. So this shit's a crit trip. Anyway, so dude had to sneak a woman in. He got caught on tape, kicked off the team. I feel the same way I do about the NFL and the NBA, man. I feel like they're not respecting a man's need for intercourse. It seems like it's swept under the rug. It seems like it's not a big deal, and you're not taking it in consideration. If you have a man, if you know you're going to have 150 men over at your house, Kamala, first thing you're going to think is, I need some food for these motherfuckers. It's going to be a lot of dudes. And I want the NFL to think the same way. We got 150 dudes in this hotel. We need food. We need water. We need women. Like, we need to take care of this. However, as much as I feel like that, you gotta show some restraint. You got to be able to get through training camp, dog. It's just 2 weeks. The NFL, the NBA, they expected them to go for months, and that just was ridiculous. But the NFL, it's just training camp, dog. What say you, Kamala?
Well, he was a rookie.
Yeah.
And so he got waived, you know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where it's like, we got to make an example out of somebody. Why not make it out of...
And plus, he was an undrafted free
That's
agent.
what I'm saying. Like, it was no cat. We ain't going to lose nothing by letting this cat go to set an example. We ain't playing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because let's say Sierra snuck in. They're not waiving Russell Wilson.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Not going to happen, buddy. But you got to know that as a rookie. I mean, we got a lot of athletes listening to our show. And, man, as much as I'm going to be a male rights activist and say, man, they need to make provisions for dudes to get some tail and stop demonizing a man's need for sex, you still got to be smart about it, man. You got to know the rules, man. And I get why you would want to sneak a woman in, but it's training camp, dog. You got to be able to focus in training camp. You're trying to make the fucking team, man. Like, come on, dude. At least make the team first, bro.
Yeah, get a contract.
Yeah, get a contract, but it broke my heart that he went out like that, man. It's just like the guy who went out like that with his wife, man. When his wife and him got in a fight and he went out and got the hotel, he lost his wife and 3 daughters, man. I hate to see a dude go out like that over some ass, man. And it's so common. So, man, this guy's career is over. I don't know. Do you think he'll get another shot, Kamala?
Nah, because he was he's going to be out of football for a while, because I don't know if people are going to be inviting him to their bubble because he broke some bubble rules. And so then he's got to try to catch on next year. And then it'd be like, well, he's been out of football for too long. He's not in football shape. So unless he wasn't like a highly coveted rookie. He went undrafted. So he might have blew his shot, man. He might be playing in Canada or something like that, or playing for the Rock's new league or something.
Damn, dog. I mean, guys, you have to understand how serious these things are, man, and you cannot fuck off an opportunity just because you need a bust a nut, man. Don't fuck off your family to bust a nut, and do not fuck off an opportunity like this just to bust a nut. That's prenup mode, Kamala.
Don't fuck up your money,
your
family, and your money. Don't fuck those up.
Nah, it's not to bust a nut, bro. When we come back, man, it's Dear Irby time. A guy gets into it with his wife over how to raise their kid. Can we help him out? You're going to find out soon. It's the MRA Podcast. Yo, what's up? I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kamala.
And you're listening to the MRA Podcast, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. Let's get into this Dear Irby letter.
Let us.
Dear Irby, my son is 6, and I want to raise him to be independent. My wife, in my opinion, is trying to raise him to depend on her. The other day, on a rare occasion, I was spending time with my wife, rubbing her feet. She had just sprained an ankle, so I was trying to give her a little affection, mixed with some physical therapy I picked up from a lifetime of playing ball. My son walks in and asks my wife for some water. Me being a dad and not wanting him to depend on his mommy for everything, I told him to get it himself. His mom looked at me and said he cannot reach the cups nor the water. I told him to get his step stool and grab a cup. I didn't say it, but it was my intention to get the drink if he could at least get a cup. Or I would have shown him how to do it. My wife told him to get a cup from the dishwasher. He said he wanted her to get him the cup. Now I'm hot because he's sounding weak. I said, boy, if you don't go get that step stool. He ran away crying. His mother told me I was being mean. I was thinking she should have heard what I didn't say. I wanted to say, you bitch ass nigga, if you don't go and get that goddamn cup. My wife said I was being short with him because I had been drinking, and she hopped up on the one leg, limped over, got the drink for our son, and yelled at him to come and get the drink. I was furious, and 2 days later, I am still upset. I told her she undermined and disrespected me. She said she didn't, and she tells me I'm over-exaggerating. So that's why I'm reaching out to my boys. Please let me know if I'm tripping and why. That's from Tamian in Boston. Damien with a T. Tamian in Boston. Come out. What you think, dog?
Yes, Tamian is tripping. No, of course not. He's not tripping. Dude, you're on the money. You are on the money. As a matter of fact, you deserve a humanitarian award for not saying the shit that you was thinking. If women actually understood what is in our head and how vastly different the shit that actually comes out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's filtered. We should get medals of freedom. You know what I'm saying? We should get medals of freedom. The shit that actually starts off in our head, and by the time it gets out, it's like, I can't believe you would say that. Well, damn it. If you'd have heard this shit.
You should have heard what I was about to say. You mean, I can't believe you looked at that woman. You should. I did a whole lot more than look.
Exactly.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
In my brain.
Tamian, it might be Tamian or Tamian.
Sure.
Listen, dude. This is a man versus woman thing, right? This is basically just different personalities. We are wired differently. All right. Yep. A lot of women hate bitch ass niggas, but will raise a bitch ass nigga. Quoting the great Kyle Irby.
Thank you, sir.
You know, they will do this. And so your job is to make sure your son does not grow up to be a bitch ass nigga. But here's the thing, Tamian. You can't let her raise him.
Wow.
You have to be more involved. Now, obviously, just because of that maternal connection, that child, mother, there's going to be a bond. But, man, she shouldn't have a shot. You should already be there. You know what I'm saying? Like you said right now.
He is there.
I'm talking about as far as, like, you know, he should already be there as far as, like, that relationship. Like, she's being soft on him and stuff like that. She never should have a chance. You should be out, you know what I'm saying, training them, rolling with, hey, come with me to, you said you play ball. Hey, come with me. Hey, son, I know he's only 6, but I was rolling with my pops at 6. I was sitting in the stands while he's playing basketball. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know your pops had a Jader.
Yeah, he can shoot. He's pretty good, man.
He looked like a shooter.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He used to take me to the gym when I was a little boy, man. I didn't understand the game at all. There was a lot of cussing and stuff like that, but I was around, like, you know, my pops and watching my pops, like, you know what I'm saying, argue over fouls and shit like that, not back down and all that stuff. So I watched my pops interact with dudes. And so it was time for me to go to, like, the playground and shit like that. I pretty much knew how to act. Now, you know, I was ready when it was time for me to strike it on my own and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, Tamian needs to just be, like, bringing the son along. You know, just make him spend more time with you. Teach him how to be a man that way. Because honestly, telling your wife to do it, she's short-sighted. That's, you know, women are short-sighted. This is the now.
When did he tell his wife to do it?
No, I'm saying if he's telling his, like, wife, like, hey, man, you need to be tougher on him. He needs to be doing his own thing. Women are short-sighted. That's her baby. She sees him as a baby right now. He's cute. She just wants to see him dressed all nice and stuff like that. You, Tamian, got to get him ready for the white man in society. And these whole, you have a lot of work to do. Her job is to nourish him. You know what I'm saying? Get him fed, make sure his needs are met, comfort him when, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he gets hurt and stuff like that, he needs to be nursed to health. That's her job. But to get him ready, that's you. And so, like you said, this is a rare occasion where you're, like, you chilling with the wife and all that stuff, and you massage your feet, and then that's y'all time. And boy comes in there for mom. Hey, mama, because probably they spend a lot more time together. I go through the same shit in my house. You know what I'm saying? My son will walk right past me to ask my wife for something.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what do you want? I want her to give me some. Hey, boy, go get your own shit. He'll laugh and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's the same thing. I've been accused of being mean to my son as well. It's one of those things, man. This is a new generation of parenting. And Tamian, you, myself, Kyle, we're still stuck back in the old generation. And we're not wrong. When the dust settles and your son is 30, 40 years old, you know what I'm saying, your wife is going to wish that you had kept a foot in your son's ass. You know what I'm saying? And not, and not have been too nice. So I don't think you did anything wrong. I think she did undermine you. I think that's something that y'all need to discuss more. But you
think she undermined him?
Definitely undermined him. I think basically to alleviate that stuff, man, you just remove her from the equation, and you and your son just start vibing. You start hanging out with your son more. You go in there and whatever he's doing, if he's playing with his toys, go in there, just spend more time with them. And so you develop that relationship. So when he asks you for some water, you can be like, man, go get your own shit. And so it's already established, man. It's something that you got to build. It takes time, but I got faith in you, Tamian.
Hey, man, that's fantastic, Kamala. When we come back, man, I'm going to win. You need some advice in your relationship
and can't afford a therapist?
Yeah. Hit us up and we'll get you through this.
We won't even charge you a copay.
Exactly. The Dear Irby letter is our longest standing segment on the MRA, dating all the way back to the webisodes. This is where we truly save relationships one listener at a time. We've saved marriages.
Encouraged divorce.
Taught a guy how to please his woman.
Encouraged divorce.
Yeah, so hit us up for advice and we'll help you out. Send your emails to dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That is dearirby@themrapodcast.com. Come out, this one touched me, dog. First of all, fully jealous of your moments with your dad at the gym. 100%, man. My dad is a gym rat. My dad always was at basketball. I never saw my dad hooping. My dad sent me and my sons, we got a text chain, a picture of him hooping when he was a kid. I guess as a baby, I used to be there like as a, baby next to him. But I never went. I watched my pops because I remember how much he used to sweat like a mug. But I don't remember it being a thing. Like, all right, I'm watching pops on the court. I don't remember it. I remember a couple like going to games and stuff because my dad loved to play. But the point is, man, when you were talking about your memory, I thought, man, I missed that. That would have been nice to know. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I just want to say he tried to teach his son how to be a man in that moment. Tamian, you tried, and your wife undercut you. Absolutely. Let's go back to your letter. You said, on a rare occasion, I was spending time with my wife. That's the first issue I have with what you said. Sometimes as a man, we end up competing with our sons for mama. We both, that's both our girls. You sharing. Luckily, it's always nice when you only got to share your wife with your sons and not some nigga down the street. All right. So, but we definitely are fighting our sons for our wives. Your wife will replace you with your son. Have you heard of that, Kamala?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you would definitely be replaced by your sons. So there is like a little rivalry. So when you said on the rare occasion I was spending time with my wife rubbing her feet, that let me know that there might have been some jealousy there. There might have been some, not jealousy, but territorial. So you might have snapped at the little homie. And then she said that you was drinking. Hopefully you're not, Mr. Belligerent guy, but you might have been extra short. And guess what? I don't give a damn. It's all right to bark at the little nigga. He needs you barking at him. It'd be different if you got, all crazy with it. You said to get it yourself. Now, you might have been rude. I don't give a damn. He needs a foot in his ass. You're going to have to raise a man in spite of your wife. Because her job is to coddle. Her job isn't to make a man out of your son. It's yours. And she and his relationship ain't got nothing to do with yours and his relationship. Now, here's the problem. You're not going to be able to put the foot in his ass like you want to when your wife's around. Because every man just wants peace. And if unfortunately you got the kind of woman who will undermine you in front of, you're going to have to tell her about it. You asked if you got, you came to us to find out if you're tripping. You're not. I'm going to call you out on the rare occasion part and the fact that you maybe had some sip. But other than that, and another part you said, I didn't say it, but it was my intention. People cannot read your mind, my dude. So you're only telling your side of the story. I'm sure if wifey told her side of the story, you wouldn't sound as good. But we're hearing yours. We got your back. We're going to tell you. I second what Kamala said. Make sure you keep that foot in your son's ass. Make sure that you try your best to undo the bitch assness that your wife is going to try to create. She cannot help it, though. I want you to have a little bit of empathy for her. Stop trying to make her do your job. That is your job. You make sure you put the smack down on little homie. I don't mean literally. You make sure you teach him and you show him how to be a man at all times. You don't high pitch your voice. Keep the bass in there. Don't let him see you bitching and whining at your wife. He's learning from you. So be a man at all times. If you see some bitch ass shit, I encourage you to keep telling him to get it himself. Kamala, what is it? I was
going to say, just before we get out of here, man. When Tamian is talking to his wife about this, I think he definitely needs to have a conversation with his wife about this. Tamian, you have to let her know. The start of this, you were taking care of your girl. My girl is hurt. I'm taking care of her, and somebody wants my injured girl to get on that foot and hobble, get him some water when he's able. But I'm looking out for my girl. If you can play it like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on your side. You know what I'm saying? If he can't respect the fact that you're hurt at 6, what happens if you get into a car accident when he's 12 and he still wants, I'm teaching him to show respect and reverence for his mother.
That's right. Nobody's more selfish than a child.
Flip that
it's natural.
Flip that shit. Use reverse psychology.
That's a good word, dog. Yeah. Where can we find you?
Twitter and Instagram at Angry Kamau.
I am at Kyle Irby at the MRA Podcast is where you can find us both. KyleIrby.com is my website. You can see some of the commercials I've done. I told you I booked a new one, but I haven't shot it yet, so I'll give you all the details after I shoot that bad boy. And at the MRA Podcast is where you can go to listen to 107 of our episodes. We really appreciate y'all for continuing to support us. Kamau, thank you for showing up every single week, doing your research, and bringing it. Ladies, we love you. Fellas, be a man at all times.
Deuces.
MRA.